On September 11th, 2001, it was my first year teaching high school.
I was in 6th grade.
I was actually teaching a world geography class.
It was my second year of teaching in Chicago.
I, at the time, was a lawyer.
I'm 33 years old now. I was a freshman in college.
I was still living and teaching in St. Joseph, Missouri.
So I was a college freshman.
I had first hour off.
At the time, I was the admissions director.
I was a sophomore in college.
We were in a little village called Yalapa.
I was at an 8 o'clock morning class.
I had just been to the 7 o'clock mass at LeBlanc High School.
I was teaching Algebra 1 class.
We had a faculty meeting that morning.
I was headed to class with my with the other people from my dorm who were in that class.
I remember sitting in the back of the library watching an old TV, and it was really fuzzy footage, so we couldn't see what was going on.
And I got a phone call from my brother who lives in Chicago, and he said, "Did you hear anything?"
Somebody came running by and they said that the towers in New York had gotten hit. We went on through our day, and as the day progressed, the teacher started turning on the TV, and then in my third hour class was when we actually watched the second plane hit. So I was sitting in my social studies class when the second plane hit, and then both buildings collapsed.
I have a very good friend, had a very good friend, called John Coughlin, who was a New York City firefighter. And I went to college with Johnny. And he lived in New York. His father was a firefighter, his grandfather was a firefighter. And the story was, Johnny was going up the 23rd floor when everybody was going down, and no one's ever heard of him since.
We were handed a note, and the note said something like, 2 passenger planes have flown into the World Trade Towers. Don't tell your students anything.
When you would go outside, you would see all the circles in the air because the planes all had to be rerouted and go back. Everybody had to go back. There could be no flying at all that day.
There were New Yorkers in our resort, and they said they were watching the footage all day. It reminded them of Armageddon.
Everybody was freaked out that something was going to come and another plane was going to come and fly into our dorm.
I think the thing that surprised almost everyone was that if you saw it happening or were there, that you had some sense of kind of watching it unfold.
And I was afraid. I didn't know, what was going to happen.
So it was just a very scary time. And I remember all I wanted to do was be with my family.
I'll never forget driving home on Chicago. The highways were completely empty.
One of the things I remember later in the evening that just boggled my mind, that the government had shut down all air traffic over the United States. The American airspace had been closed.
I'll never forget that day.
Let us never forget what happened on September 11th.